BokehPix has made a massive enhancement to how payments are processed. Essentially, we've removed Stripe from a separate checkout process and placed it directly onto your sites, so the clients will not be redirected and have a more friendly experience. Let's take a look at how this is going to work. We're going to see this in action on specials, on your client portal, and finally on invoices. Let's start with special events. On my test special event, let's assume that one person is going to book a particular slot that's already open. Notice that we have moved coupons out of the ring and inserted a timer. If another person is also on the page and at the same time clicks it, someone will get a message and they'll have to find a different slot. On the first person's, that timer is running down. And what we can do is put our coupon information and details before it runs out so that that slot remains ours. Invalid coupons will receive an error message and valid coupons will receive success. A few things have changed inside of this particular module. Notice that select a package is currently disabled. One must select at least one package, whether it be free or paid for, before continuing. You can also cancel the reservation at any time, which will invoke a cancellation event and free up the slot. Once they say they're ready to review and pay, they will go ahead and review the particulars around the details, and then they're going to see how much they're going to end up paying after all discounts are applied and start entering in their credit card information. There's new options for payment methods here for Afterpay or Apple Pay, depending on what you set up in your Stripe account. Notice that they cannot click pay until all fields have been enabled, and if one field is not, then it will give them a message that they have to fix it. Once the pay is activated, they can click it, and that will go through the Stripe account and then give them a message upon callback of the page telling them of the success. That email that you have set up to send when a special is booked will be sent directly to them at that time, and they can save the calendar event. If you aren't familiar with where to set this timer for your specials, simply head over to BokehPix, click the upper right-hand corner of your picture, and under Account Settings, scroll down in Preferences all the way to the bottom, and you'll see Special Default Settings. The field we're looking for is Upon Click of Checkout Countdown, and this is where you can set how many minutes they get until the slot is automatically closed and canceled for someone else to reserve. Okay, let's talk about your client's portals. In this test portal, I am going to buy an extra digital package for download. And how about we add a print as well? Okay, we're going to put those items into the cart. And now on our cart, we have combined the coupon information at the very front where you can enable it. So there's no extra step there. They can change the quantity right here on the shopping cart, but that's it. After that, if there are any prints and if there's a free shipping option, then that will be displayed. If it's just digitals, there's no shipping. Now here we can see that they can no longer change the quantities, but now we have the Stripe checkout directly in the page, so they don't have to leave. Furthermore, you can enable other payment methods like Afterpay. And we get a message down there, they have to fill in all payment address fields, and that is disabled. So they cannot proceed until everything is filled out. Once everything is filled out, the pay will activate. Of course, they can cancel at this time and come back to the cart at any other time they wish. If they go ahead and click pay, that goes through the system. If the order is successful, the payment is good, they'll get a message, and the cart will be cleared out. Now, inside of my refreshed session, I can download another picture. Now, over in your dashboard on your calendar, you'll be able to pick up and see that order and what state it's in. You can also see this order information in all open orders at the very bottom of your dashboard. Again, it'll tell you kind of what state it's in. So you have the opportunity here to send out to the client, hey, this has been shipped or it's still in process. Okay, let's talk about invoices. Invoices are set up the same way they always were. Nothing's really changed there, but there's a few added items, such as this link, and you're also going to be able to get a tip now. Now, let's void this particular invoice just to start so we can have an example, and let's build a new one. So same thing applies, you can toggle discount between percent or just raw numbers. Let's do a 10% discount for ours. We'll provide an additional message for that discount. So this is why they're getting the discount essentially. And let's get an item in here. So 35 professionally edited images for $6.25, and maybe they bought something else in addition. So you can keep adding line items, essentially. So we put our prices in here, and the invoice will figure out how much all this is going to add up to and include the discount after the fact. All right, we can put a due date or not. If you don't put a due date, then it's due immediately. Now, after I send this, the system's going to send an email automatically to the client telling them how much they owe and providing a button for them to go to the portal and pay. Now, this used to send them to a Stripe portal, but now it's sending them to your portal. This is your particular portal. It gives them the nuances behind the invoice itself. They can look at the details. They can see exactly what line items are there, the subtotal, the discount, and then what the total is that's going to be due. In addition, we can download a PDF version so they can kind of see your information there, who we're billing to, the total amount, and same thing, line items and discounts. And there's even a hyperlink that goes back to this page. Now, the big difference here is that now, because we're hosting this invoice, we can provide a tip. So they have the option to put in a particular tip. They put in something really large, we're going to warn them, hey, this is really, really high. They can still put it, but they may have done it by accident. Also, we now have the ability to put Afterpay. All right, buy now, pay later. For them, you get the full amount straight out. This is a win-win for everybody. And Stripe would not do this for their invoices, and we're going to go ahead and do it for our invoice. So we go ahead and pay. And once they pay the invoice, they should get a response back if it was successful, that is good, that it has been paid in full. Also, Stripe will send them a receipt. Okay, so you're going to see exactly how much they paid and then what the additional tip is. This is an example of what the receipt would look like coming from Stripe itself. Now, back on your BokehPix administrative site, you're going to see that invoice is either open or not. This is how you kind of can get a hyperlink to the particulars of the site if you just wanted to give them it. You can also click to say, hey, go ahead and please pay this. It'll send the same email, but it'll say reminder, and you can void here. And finally, if you're wondering what it looks like on your dashboard, your invoice, the item will be paid, and you'll see an additional tip if there was one. So it'll say, hey, this much plus tip. We hope you enjoyed these new features. Thank you.